Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Xbox One.
This is a Nexus special, episode 19, Xbox One reveal, on Tuesday, May 21st, 2013. And now, my dear Xbox, my friend.
Xbox One.
What if a single device could provide all your entertainment? Or what if that device could turn on your TV and talk to all of the devices in your living room? And what if it was always ready and connected? Well, now it's all going to begin with two simple words. Xbox on. Xbox, watch TV. Xbox, game. Go to TV. Introducing Snap Mode for the Xbox. Xbox, Snap Internet Explorer. With Snap Mode, I can run multiple programs alongside one another and easily interact between them without having to shut one down and start up another. Let's take a look at Skype in Snap Mode. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and grab my movie and zoom back to it. Xbox, answer call. Xbox, watch ESPN. I can say Xbox, show fantasy. Introducing the Xbox One Guide. Now you can find, discover, and watch TV in three powerful new ways. Voice control, search, and navigation, favorites, and trending.
USB 3.0, Wi-Fi Direct, a Blu-ray drive, a native 64-bit architecture, and variable power states. We're bringing a new Kinect sensor paired with every Xbox One, and our new proprietary time of flight measures the time about 13 billionths of a second that it takes individual photons to bounce off of you to create unprecedented accuracy and precision. A 1080p, wider field view capture of your world. There are more joints. And now, for the first time, understanding the slightest rotation of a wrist or a shoulder. When you're exercising, it can read your heartbeat. This is human control. The Xbox One controller features updated ergonomics and an integrated battery compartment, dynamic impulse triggers, and a newly designed D-pad for gamers for the next generation. You will now have a dedicated game DVR to capture and access your magic moments and save them to the cloud.
We're developing 4 games for Xbox One: FIFA, Madden NFL, NBA Live, and UFC.
This is Forza Motorsport 5 running on Xbox One. This is Quantum Break.
I'm thrilled to announce a live-action Halo television series, created in partnership with 343 Industries and one of the best storytellers of all time, Mr. Steven Spielberg.
It's my honor to introduce a game-changing partnership.
When your favorite player scores a touchdown, it updates your fantasy league status.
I'm pleased to announce that we'll be launching Xbox One around the world later this year. All downloadable content for Call of Duty will launch exclusively first on Xbox One.
This Nexus special features Ryan Rampersad, Ian Buck, and Matthew Petschl. So I hear that there's a new Xbox coming out soon.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
There was this big kind of video event thing on the internet sweeping the nation.
It's this big event kind of seems like 359 steps backward, though.
359. Why on earth would you say that?
Well, I expected like an infinite amount of progression and advancement and innovation.
Maybe going from the 360 to the 720.
Well, that would have been a doubling, or
yeah.
maybe even an infinite. Kind of upon on the Microsoft 8 kind of deal.
Ah, yes, because you put it sideways and
it turns into an 8 or an infinity sign. But I feel like we've gone 359 steps backward.
Because...
Well, you tell me.
The next Xbox is called the Xbox One.
And so I was building a dinosaur earlier today, and I told Matt this while he was drilling into its spleen, and Matt said...
Pre-show troll.
Yeah, he thought it was fake.
I couldn't believe it.
I almost believed him that he believed it was fake. Turns out...
It's not fake.
Yeah.
Wait, which one of you was trolling the... I don't know.
No. Like, they were trolling us.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, like Microsoft
Gotcha.
would totally troll everybody. Like, it's the one.
Yeah, wouldn't it
and
be
one
fun-
more thing. It's
mean-
actually the 720.
Right.
I do understand where they're going with this name, because this is like, supposed to be the one device that you need in your living room. You're not going to, need to have anything else, just the Xbox One. Of course, I don't have a living room, so...
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a PS3, though.
Yeah.
But so many people who have nice living room computers that hooked up to their TVs just use Ubuntu One, like for all their music needs and everything else.
You really believe that deeply in your heart?
Shuttleworth thinks so.
Shuttleworth is wrong.
I don't think that there's quite the same number of people doing that as there are people who just have, an Xbox or a PS3 hooked up to their computer, TV. Sorry.
Yeah, I knew what you meant. So tell us about this event, because I was busy making a dinosaur. You were actually watching the
I was
event
actually
live.
watching it. So, Microsoft went and built this gigantic tent on their Redmond campus and invited a bunch of... Actually, there weren't very many people there, apparently. There were only like 8 rows
That's
of
impressive.
chairs for journalists and
Yeah.
whatnot. And then apparently there were a bunch of like Microsoft employees
So
in the
it was
back
outside?
who... Well... It was kind of in the middle of this big area that's usually a field, but then it was
in a tent.
It was in a giant tent.
Why would they do that?
I'm not
they
sure.
couldn't rent out any other space? That's absurd.
But apparently there were a bunch of Microsoft employees in the back who were just cheering like at really odd times because nobody else was cheering. And
Okay, guys, I know this sounds like it's lame, but guys, cheer. Please. We'll give you free copies of Windows 8.1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that they did reveal to us that Sony has not revealed yet is what their console looks like.
Oh, what do you think it looks like?
It looks pretty darn slick. Just from the video, from what I saw, it looks like a smoke gray kind of slab of metal. And it comes with a revamped Kinect, which looks, pretty much kind of, it's the same,
It's
smoke
boxy.
gray. Yeah, and then there's a very familiar looking controller. I heard one of the people who was actually there say it's actually made of plastic, just looks really snazzy.
So I asked you if it was legitimately made out of metal, because that would do two cool things. It would make it like a brick, really heavy, which means it won't fall over, and it's actually rugged and durable enough to not break into pieces, but alternatively to act as a heatsink, because Xboxes notoriously were literally on fire at one point in their livelihoods.
Yes. And there are like vents all over this device.
Now, can I break in here and inject some Sony into your life?
Go ahead.
So I don't know if you watched yesterday, but Sony revealed their
well, sort of
blur picture of the
very close up images of
and so a bunch of people put the blurs together using Adobe patented unblurring technology.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, sure they did. And so so
we know what it looks like pretty much?
Yeah, you got an idea, but it's probably not real. But from what it looks like is there's a huge bulk bag vent on the PS4. And so my question is heating going to be a problem?
For
either of the devices, do you think?
Well, if they've got giant vents, hopefully not.
But they shouldn't need giant vents.
I do. I put giant vents on everything.
Well, you have issues.
No, I don't. I just like airflow.
Airflow. I just assume that these components should be powerful enough to keep themselves cool and not...
that doesn't make any sense
I understand.
at all.
I know you don't think so, but it does.
Powerful enough to keep themselves cool.
Well, they should be able to go so fast that it gets cold.
Do we know if the power brick is inside the
It
Xbox?
should be. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, because I really found that annoying on the Xbox 360 that you have to carry around the brick that's just as big as the Xbox.
Really?
That's pretty funny.
It has like an adapter, like a laptop power cord kind of thing. Oh my gosh,
it's huge.
I didn't know that.
Microsoft.
That's disgusting.
Literally huge.
Even the PS3 has it on the inside.
It does?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
You own one.
I've never used it.
Oh my god!
I played Journey and Final Fantasy 13.
Anyway,
moving along.
So, they focused really, really heavily during their presentation on what you can do with it on your TV. Like, not gaming, but, the fact that you can now watch television shows, live television shows, through your Xbox onto your TV. So, you know, they were like, you don't have to switch inputs, you know, to go and watch your TV now. You just say Xbox television, Xbox go to HBO, you know.
So it's all voice
whatever.
controlled?
And it's all voice controlled. They were pretty much using voice control the entire time that they were doing that.
That's good. And so it just worked.
And I was very impressed because, you know, as we all know, presentations never work. There's always hardware failures. It's always
Google.
really, really awkward. But no, everything went perfectly smoothly for them.
Yeah.
Which was incredible.
That is impressive. Did they show any, like, of the new Kinect?
Well, yes. What do you mean?
So did they actually show a person actually doing something with Kinect?
Well, they showed the presenter was just kind of standing in front of it, and it recognized him as soon as it turned on, you know, and they didn't show anybody, like, playing Kinect games or anything like that.
Because I just wondered if that had actually been ready or not.
But it's, the camera is, a wider angle now, the sensors pick up, a lot more stuff, supposedly, you know.
Higher quality. Better resolution, that kind of thing.
More depth perception and stuff like that.
The depth perception, I think, is probably the most important part.
More, like, they have more joints that it can detect, apparently. Like, wrists are the thing now that they couldn't do before. But, I found it really kind of interesting that they were focusing so much on the television aspect of it, you know.
I think that makes sense for what they're going for, though, because
it does. Yeah,
they've reached a point where gamers, there aren't enough real, like, you know, hardcore gamers like you who build a computer.
True.
There aren't enough dedicated Xbox gamers. They need to expand their market. So by putting all those TV features in, they can capture some parent-like people.
Die-hard sports fans who want to be able to see their, you know, fantasy football teams getting updated live while they're watching a football game,
you know,
snap mode,
it's
blah,
cool.
blah, blah, blah.
That's cool, but I don't think anybody's actually going to do it.
Yeah.
They're just going to have their phone.
Exactly.
Or, you know, whatever, do it.
Yeah,
which is very, very easy.
They're saying stuff in there like you could turn on your TV with the Xbox now, and I don't know how that works.
Well, I mean, I know at Savannah's house, they have like an all Sony setup where, you know, you just push a button on the one remote and the PS3 and the TV and everything else just kind of turns on all at once.
So I didn't read it, but I inferred it from a picture I was watching. That's right. And apparently there's an IR blaster built into the Xbox now. And so with the IR blaster, you can put an extender on from the back to the front of your TV or wherever you want, so that other devices can see it. And
that sounds really too complicated for normal people.
But it's actually not really any more complicated than the Wii sensor bar. So instead of facing you, it faces the TV. And you just put it in either directly in front of the TV or just a little bit further from it. And as long as it has even a marginal line of sight, so it can bounce off the wall. It's IR. It doesn't matter. It doesn't care.
So it's not just in the Kindle?
No.
Connect.
I knew. No, it's not. It's probably separate. Okay. So, all it does is, so if you say turn on TV, dear Xbox, my friend, it will do so. What? It's the problem.
If you had to end every single sentence with that would be amazing. Dear Xbox, my friend, would you kindly
play Call of Duty? Or is that the thing?
That's the thing. Okay. Yes, actually, Call of Duty was one of the few games that they had there.
Maybe that's why I heard about it.
Speaking of games, they were not showing off very many games during this event. That's their E3 event that they're going to be showing off a ton of games for the
that
Xbox
makes perfect
One.
Sense.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Unlike, you know, Sony, who were, you know, months and months before E3, so they kind of had to show off.
Sony asks, what are games?
Actually, Sony seems to be focusing more on the gamers than Xbox is.
And that makes sense for Sony because that's what they are typically strong in. Mm-hmm. Real, like, hardcore gaming, which is funny because I don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
And you own one.
I know.
Anyway, so they have a few new features. The UI for most of the things that you'll be doing looks a lot like Windows 8, and it behaves a lot like Windows 8.
Now, when you say Windows 8, you mean the Metro part?
Yes, I mean the new UI part.
Just say Metro. Everybody knows what you mean. Nobody cares.
So, you know, you can have it snap. You have two things on the screen at once, you know. They've integrated Skype into it. And obviously, you know, that'll use the Kinect camera for the Skypingness. You can browse the internet on your favorite Internet Explorer browser.
Woo!
Yay! Woohoo! So smart glass is integrated already, so you can control whatever's off on the side while you're like watching a TV show or whatever. But I don't see why you wouldn't just, go and use your smartphone to search things natively on your smartphone anyway.
I mean, some people, that might be a really nice feature. I can see a lot of normal people using it, I suppose. People who aren't inclined to do multiple things at once.
Sure.
I guess.
They told us about their special 3 operating systems system thing, where they have the Windows kernel that runs pretty much most of the things that you'll be doing on it besides gaming. Then they have the Xbox operating system that will play the games, and then they have a third operating system in quotations that will switch between the two.
Ooh.
Woo!
Switch OS.
So I mean, basically it's a dual operating system.
That's 2.5.
And then it switches between them.
I mean, so like initially it sounds dumb, but in some ways it makes sense because you'd want your gaming operating system to have, closer to the metal axis for GPU and CPU optimizations, and you'd want your Windows part that is typically plagued with security issues to be isolated much further away, because typically you don't need you typically you want driver support, plug and play support for just Windows things.
Oh sure.
And Windows kernels can provide that, and so then the Xbox kernel can provide low level support, and the Windows kernel can provide convenience. So it makes sense.
And one thing that we don't know yet is how easy it will be to develop for this Windows kernel as opposed to, developing for Windows.
Right, Windows.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably is going to be more along the lines of Metro development.
Yes.
And not like EXEs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. I mean, that's fine. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Actually having this Metro UI on the Xbox makes a hell of a lot more sense to me than having it on my desktop.
Right.
So, there you go.
Although in some respects though, it doesn't make even that much sense on a TV because you don't touch it, so you have to do everything with voice or everything with your controller.
But the snap mode does look pretty nice on a big screen that you're
as long as you don't have
away
to actually do anything with it. If it's just there for presentation, it's fine. But if you have to start interacting with it, you're screwed.
Well, I mean, interacting with things in the Metro UI is kind of out of the question anyway.
Right, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying that it works better here than on a desktop.
Whatever. Really.
So, as for the hardware, it is running on an x86 architecture. Woohoo!
I heard it was 64-bit. Is that true?
Yep, pretty sure.
So that makes sense because it has bulk memory.
Mm-hmm. It has 8 gigs of RAM, though they didn't specify that it was GDDR5.
They're probably trying to get that order in right now.
Yeah,
like
right.
AMD, you didn't tell us why.
And then it has 500 gigs of hard drive space. It supports USB 3.0. Everybody say, ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. Shiny.
Shiny.
And it has Blu-rays.
Now, Matt had a question. What is your question? You don't remember.
Are the games on the Blu-ray discs too?
I have no idea.
Now, do you think they will be?
I don't care.
Let's try this again, but way harder. Do you think the games will be on Blu-ray?
Probably. Sure,
okay, good.
Not?
I'm glad. Why does that make sense?
Because then you won't have to have an entirely separate disc thing that it'll have to be able to read other than Blu-rays.
Right, and also because this Xbox won't suck, and so it'll be able to use high-resolution textures and actually look nice.
Did I just hear you say Sexbox?
No, Xbox won't suck.
Sexbox 1.
Actually, that might be better. But if you're playing Xbox, you shouldn't expect anything.
Right. So...
Man, the show just went downhill because of you.
Hey, it's a gaming thing.
Oh, is it now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Therefore, it's mine. Therefore, it is sex. Wait.
What?
I don't know.
Go on.
So the controller. It looks a lot like a 360 controller. One of the new things that they have is that there is feedback on the triggers now. They have some complicated name for this, but
I was reading the complicated name, like something impulse triggers.
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, I think that it means that the triggers themselves will rumble for you or something. Yeah. And then they've kind of redone the D-pad so that it's not like a circle now. It's just the four arrows.
Yeah.
Which is nice. And then there's also these two buttons in the middle that are in the location where the select and start buttons used to be. But they have these icons, and the icons, ironically, one of them looks like, it's got 3 bars, so it looks just like the Chrome, menu drop-down button.
It's a good UI.
And then the other button has like a square and then a square in front of that square, which looks exactly like the window switching button on my Chromebook.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're taking cues from somebody else.
Exactly. And I suspect that those might literally just be the select and start buttons with icons now instead of the words select and start.
But I think it's better to not put words on it.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then there's also kind of a glowing Xbox symbol up in the top,
always.
which it's not. It doesn't look like it's a physical button. It looks like it might just be kind of a glowing thing that you can touch, and then hopefully that will bring you back to the dashboard.
Oh, so you're telling me it doesn't have a huge touch sensor field like that stupid PS4 controller?
No.
Good.
And I wouldn't categorize that as stupid because it's pretty darn cool.
Yeah, it's a touch sensor.
Hey, if the Ouya does it, it's cool.
Ouya?
Ouya.
Oh.
Ouya. Sure.
That's the next gen.
Anyway. What?
What?
So, yep, the controller has stayed pretty consistent, which is fine because, I mean, the Xbox 360 controller has been kind of the standard, pretty much the best one that there is out there.
Yeah.
In terms of controllers.
I've never liked a few things around, but mostly the same. But I really like how the new controller sticks look. So they have like a scratching along the side of it so your thumb doesn't slip and it's thicker.
A little texture around the depression.
Mm-hmm.
Depression.
When you're going backwards and forwards, because I play a lot of Marvel vs. Capcom, and you have to do a lot of quarter circles, backwards, forwards, and it's kind of like old style gaming stuff instead of new Halo crap. And I always slip around and mess it up.
Quarter circles?
Yeah, you don't turn.
Slap the stick to the right and then quarter circle backwards to throw a barrage of needles at somebody, or you do other things.
That's an interesting control scheme.
Well, it's old.
Yeah.
Okay.
But really a pain to do. I'm not very good at it. My sister's a lot better, and so she can do all the combos and beat me in it every day. You know how sad it is when your little sister beats you in video games every day? It hurts.
Play a different game.
I have no idea how that feels.
Play a different game.
Makes me want to cry.
Play Final Fantasy. Nobody can beat you in that.
Oh, yeah. Nobody plays that.
Yeah.
So, also, isn't that not...
Yeah,
multiplayer?
exactly.
Right, okay. I get it now.
That's what I was really going for.
I am slow to get there, but I get there. I got it. So... there were a few games that they did show off. The Quantum Break is being made by Remedy, the makers of Max Payne and Alan Wake, and it was announced, and it had some very pretty cinematics, and apparently it'll have a television show kind of tie-in to it, but we don't know much other than that. I literally Googled Quantum Break during the show as it was being shown on screen, and there were no web pages associated with it.
That's
there was
fine.
like nothing out there. Exactly. Well, but like this was the announcement.
I know.
Like we didn't know about this before.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. They actually know how to keep a secret.
Yeah.
Unlike some people.
Who?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's how secretive they are.
So, EA came on stage and they showed off a bunch of sports games, of course. Yeah, exactly. They announced what their new engine is called that they're running all of their sports games on, and I forget the name. It was like, it started with an I. It may have been Infinity or something like that.
How ironic.
I don't know.
Well,
yep, FIFA 14 and Madden and those things are going to be on the Xbox One, which is not a surprise.
I suspect they're the games they can talk about right now because they're so easy to make.
Right.
Like, oh, look, some AI, okay, a field and a ball, cool.
And they also
and uniforms.
They talked about how the hype of the crowd is going to have an effect in the world and stuff like that and whatever.
Yeah, it's probably trivial for them to make it and they just milk it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They announced that there are going to be wow. Sorry about that. There are going to be 15 exclusive games in the first year, and 8 of those are going to be new franchises, which is good. Yeah, I mean, Microsoft is really good at having exclusive things, and they love having exclusive things, and I think that's the reason that the Xbox 360 sold so well.
Yeah.
Especially in the beginning, was because,
Even, despite all of the red ring of overheating.
Yeah.
So.
That's trivial when, you get to play your
Games.
Halo and your what else do they have?
You see how hard it is?
Exactly.
Yeah,
I don't care that much.
Well, I don't play games, so I don't know. Like Fable, maybe? I don't even know. It's not a real game.
That one's on PC as well, though.
Yeah, okay, fine.
I'm thinking of that one with the Gears of War. That one. Yes.
Oh, nobody liked that, though.
See, I always get between God of War and Gears of War.
No, God of War is a Sony exclusive.
I know, but I get confused because it starts with the same letters and has the same words.
And they're wars.
Right, so it starts with the same letter, G,
Yep.
and it has the same words, of war.
We played that game for like 10 minutes and you just rage quit.
Yeah, because it's a working game. You don't need to work in a game. I like Guild Wars. You just run, you hit something, you walk away.
Because like in Gears of War, when you reload the mag, if you wait till the bar gets halfway, and you hit the reload button again, you get a special rounds for a little second. So you have to. It's a timing thing, and then.
And he doesn't like timing things.
No, he does not like timing things.
I have all the time in the world. It shouldn't punish me for not.
Right.
Yeah.
So, 343 came on stage, of course, to talk about Halo. Not a surprise. But they didn't announce a new Halo game.
You misled me in our Google Hangout chat.
Did I?
Yeah.
What did I say?
You made me think that they made a new Halo game called Halo Predictable.
No. Oh, man. Yeah. No, I what I meant by that was predictable. They're talking about Halo.
I know. I'm just a troll, though.
Yep. So they came on stage to talk about Halo, but they're talking about a new TV series that they're going to be doing.
Live action?
Yes.
Oh.
And Steven Spielberg is involved. And I'm hoping that this TV show is not going to be like, an Xbox exclusive kind of thing. I hope that it's an actual TV show that I will be able to watch, not on an Xbox.
You probably have to pirate it from
YouTube.
Microsoft.
I don't do that.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I'm guessing it will be an exclusive, and when it ends, you'll probably get Halo 2 out of it. I mean, Generation 2, whatever. 5.
Right.
What? Halo 5.
Sure.
Yeah, it'll be bridging the gap. Do we know what it's about? I don't
Nope.
actually. Okay.
We know nothing.
Probably not bridging the gap then.
It's amazing how we come out of these events and we're like, oh my gosh, we know so much.
Nothing.
Oh, we don't know anything. Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Call of Duty Ghosts, they talked about that for a really long time and had all of these beautiful, cinematics and videos, and the developers were talking about like how they wanted to redo Call of Duty, like, not have it be the same every year.
So they made it the same.
But then they were talking about it, and I just kept hearing these buzzwords that I hear about every single game, that AAA game that's coming out, and I'm like yeah,
what?
sure.
Like what's a good buzzword?
Oh, it was...
Can't even remember.
No, I can't, because I don't... They're buzzwords. They don't matter,
Well... Okay.
Yeah, they're talking about realism and like, they want to have emotional bonds with the characters. And there was this one great line where he was like, he said something about, you're going to care about this guy, and this guy is a dog. And I was just like, a dog? Yes! I'm going to care about the dog.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They gave us a little bit about kind of what the overall storyline is, like, the US has been kind of obliterated, and you are one of the few soldiers that are left, and you're part of an elite group that have kind of banded together, and so you're using guerrilla tactics and stuff, and you're the underdogs, and except dogs.
Oh, I get it.
And then but yeah, it's just gonna be Call of Duty.
Not impressed.
Yep.
Did they say anything about RPGs?
No, of course not.
See, I'm an American, but I want my RPG.
Yeah. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
They really didn't talk about anything in that presentation that nerds would care about. This was kind of an everyman's presentation, wasn't it?
Twilight Sparkles on the Pillar of Ottoman.
And that's a Halo
Chip 1 thing.
What?
Halo 1.
Okay.
It's not just Halo, it's Halo 1.
Oh, that's hilarious. It's actually Halo Combat Evolved, but don't tell anyone.
Because I look at that and I go, hey, that kind of looks like it might have been in Freelancer.
Well, when you start watching the TV show, it'll make sense.
If the TV show has to do with that.
Well,
I mean, there's
all the ships in Halo look the same. So,
right.
Yeah. You'll see it.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all of the things that they told us during the show. There are a few things that weren't in the show that we do know from other sources. For example, the games will all get installed onto the system from the disc.
The hard drive.
Yep, onto the hard drive. So presumably you will be able to play them without the disc, which will be huge because
That's
you know
good.
then you don't have to go Xbox turn on. Oh, now I have to walk over to you and put in a physical disc.
That makes a lot of sense,
Shucks. Yeah.
Do you know that for 100% sure, though?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, why else would they have you install it off of the disc?
Well, they do that. They've done that with the Xbox 360. You've had to install games before, but you also have to, even though if it's on the hard drive, you have to have the disc in.
But now they also have a system where if you get a used game from a friend or go and buy it from GameStop or something like that, there will now be a fee for installing that onto your system.
Now, did they talk about any of that? How does that work?
No, they didn't talk about it in the show. This is from Wired.
Okay, did Wired talk about that?
I don't know.
Because that seems...
I was listening to the Polygon and the Verge talking about this, and
so that seems a little bit complicated. So, for example, let's say you buy the game, and then you could just give me the copy. So, how does it know you've already used it?
Presumably there will be something on the disc that will tell it that.
Okay, but so...
Which copy of
But it probably
the
won't be
game
on the disc.
Or-
It'll probably have its own unique ID on the disc, and then some server will try to verify it.
Sure.
Yeah. Well...
That's what I meant by on the disc.
Oh, is that what you meant?
Yeah.
That sounds like crap.
And, I mean, that system will probably get broken into pretty darn quickly.
Sounds always on to me.
Yeah. Yeah. But you don't have... it. Once it's installed, I think you don't have to always be on in order to play it, which is how they're getting around the whole, this isn't an always-on system. But developers can choose to have their games require being always on.
And then we'll cry like we did to EA. But I have another question then. So let's say Matt buys Halo 5, and we both have an Xbox One. And then he wants to bring his copy of...
he should be able to come over here, log on to his Xbox Live account, and then...
put the disc in?
Put the disc in. Yeah, I think that should be fine.
So it's tied to account.
So
that would make sense.
That's fine then.
What if I want to rent it?
Good luck.
I don't think they'll have rentals then.
That's going to hurt Domino's Pizza news model. Remember the new Domino's thing we saw?
How about the Papa John's thing that we saw?
I thought it was a Domino's thing. With the e-ink, when you put it in the thing, it comes out, there's pizza.
Oh, that's the DVD thing.
DVD. Right.
Google Plus
I thought they were doing
is a product Ian Buck uses, so he read about the Papa John's offer that I sent you.
But didn't you see? I only do Domino's and Checkerboard.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
I know it is. I wish you would do Papa John's.
Because then you can get half off.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. But that's a story for the 8-bit next weekend.
Oh, is it now?
Yeah, I think
It'll be over by then.
Oh, will it?
Well, when is the 27th?
Is that how long it goes?
Yeah.
Oh.
That 50% off offer from Domino's. I
Never
mean
mind
Papa
it.
John's, sorry.
All right.
I'll put a link in the show notes for everybody who wants to eat.
Cool beans. Yeah, and that's in support of esports.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yep. So, we don't know... Where was I? Oh, yes. There won't be any backwards compatibility with 360 games, which, I mean, kind of makes sense. I mean, you know, having disc compatibility is
a lot of work.
But they don't even have any compatibility with Xbox Live arcade games. You know,
what are those?
Those are the ones that you buy through Xbox Live and download them onto your 360.
Your Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Those, I mean...
That's not fine.
But I can see why they did it, because then they'd have to emulate their PowerPC code.
They got 3 operating systems to do that on.
They'd need a fourth then.
But I mean, but doing that would be a hell of a lot easier than having disk support.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's not really surprising that they don't have backwards compatibility, but it's disappointing.
It is.
And also, this kind of goes against their whole, this is the only device that you'll need in your living room thing. You know, you never have to change the input on your TV. You'll just be able to use the Xbox One for everything. Oh no, what if I want to go and play, you know, Portal 2? Oh, darn.
Oops.
Yep.
Now you gotta play Portal 3 then.
That's not gonna happen anytime soon.
Yeah, Gabe Newell can't count to 3.
I've heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want my Half-Life 3!
I mean, do you think if they did integrate backwards compatibility, it would cost more?
Oh, the system costing more, or just costing Microsoft more?
All of it.
Maybe.
I mean, would that have made them enough money to make it worth it? I somehow doubt it.
I think it is possible for them to get backwards compatibility for games that are on Xbox Live Arcade.
Yeah.
In the future, but yeah.
Yeah.
But at this point, no. So, things that we actually don't know for sure at all. We don't know what the price is.
Oh.
They didn't tell us that.
Don't want to take a guess?
Dude, I'm so bad at that.
Do it anyway. I want to know what you think.
In order for it to be a viable option for most people, it's going to have to be under $500.
What are your thoughts?
I think it's going to be exactly $400.
I'd say $499.
$450.
Okay, then.
There we
cool.
go.
Wow, look, a whole range of prices.
Yeah.
So, I want to say why.
Why?
You said why. What did you think why?
Okay, so for $200, you could get the basic Xbox 360.
Yeah.
This one, you
but
have to
what's
have a
the
Kinect,
basic?
and without a hard drive. So I only got the 4 gig version, and so
which is terrible.
Yeah.
Well, so go on.
So you have to get the hard drive. And so if they use the same pricing scheme, that adds another $100 to it. And then you have to get a Kinect, and so it's another $150. And because there's a bundle deal, it's just going to be $400.
Okay, so that's true, but part of the thing they're doing here is that most of the core features rely on the games being on the hard drive. So that's part of the core feature set with whatever voice magic they're using. In addition, the Kinect is also part of the core feature set now.
And that's why that is the base model.
Right.
Wait, I think it's only going to be one model.
Is there only one model, or are there multiple?
Pretty sure. They did not announce anything about 2 models. Actually, when they first showed the device, I saw 2 boxes. I didn't realize that one of them was the Kinect, and I'm like, oh my god, they're calling it the Xbox One, and there are 2 of them. How ironic.
That would be funny. So I said $499 because I think they wanted to match the iPad.
I see.
What?
Okay.
It's a consumer electronics device. That's the highest anybody would pay for anything now.
Okay.
That's not a computer. $499. That's the price of an iPad. That's what people see. That's what people know.
I didn't know that it cost $499.
Well, you're not an iPad user. You're not, nor are you normal people. You have a desktop that has a GTX 670 in it.
Yeah.
Not normal.
So are you.
I know.
But you knew it anyway.
I have 4 bloody crapping monitors all over the place. Who knows? Oh, and there's a 5th one there. I forgot about that one.
Hey.
Oh, and 6th, 7th, 8th. Can't count that high.
Right. By that high, you mean physically high? Or do you mean...
What's after 8?
I think it's 9.
Oh, 9. Okay, 9, 11. Wait, 10.
Oh, God.
Okay, move along. Can't count.
We actually don't know if the Kinect is a required thing, if that will come with all versions of it.
I'm guessing that it would come with it.
I'm guessing,
it's part of the core experience now. So one of the problems with the Xbox 360, even though the Kinect was the best-selling peripheral or product or consumer electronic product ever, allegedly.
The Kinect was?
Apparently.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently. At one point in its life, it was. Something beat it by now.
Probably the Chromebook.
I don't know what it was. Probably, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
But according to the world, it was. And so one of the problems, though, is that it didn't come with 360s originally, even though it eventually got bundled in with, deals and stuff. So not everybody has one. So you don't have one, right?
Oh, I do not have one.
Exactly.
What would I ever do with it?
Right, exactly. But if you had it, it would be part of your core experience.
Yeah, because with the original Kindle, you had to have a room that was at least 15 feet away. Like, you know how tiny my house is.
Oh, I do. So it's barely 15 feet.
Well, I think you only have to have that in order for the camera to work properly. You don't have
properly.
You don't have to have that for the voice commands, which is what you would be using as the core experience.
I wanted to play with my Kinectimals. I wanted to be able to scratch my cat.
You have a dog,
but I wanted a cat.
You have a real dog.
I want a fake cat.
Well, I want
a fake leopard.
Here, there's a Samba here.
Well, there wasn't always.
Oh,
I know the original podcat
died.
Yeah.
Well, and it wasn't very interactive. It didn't even
run from me.
It didn't have testicles?
No, it was female.
If it did have a bumper sensor on its nose to know when a wall hit.
I believe that was its nose. Well, no, that cat had less resolution in its eyes than the new Kinect. So,
just walk into walls, and that's why it would turn.
What are we thinking about release date?
They say later this year. If they don't have it out by November, for Black Friday, they're screwed.
So, they don't necessarily need it out for Black Friday, but they should. I'm guessing October 26th. But put me on the calendar for October 26th.
October 26th, okay.
Put me on. Go ahead. Anybody want to take a gander at that one?
I do agree it needs to be before November, but...
Why?
The Black Friday deal.
The same reason? Okay. What about you?
I'll go for October 10th because that's my birthday.
Okay, cool.
I'll go for October 11th.
That's my dad's birthday.
Oh, wow.
October 12th.
No, it's your mom's birthday.
No, it's in September.
Okay, then. Well, I said October 26th because that's when the previous editions of Windows have emerged.
Yeah, but that's a Saturday. I feel like they'll want to do it on a Tuesday, which is what
matter.
The normal video game.
Yeah, but it's not a video game; it's a video game console.
Well, yeah, but notice that they did this announcement on a Tuesday.
Yeah, but everybody does announcements on Tuesdays.
Nothing. What?
What? Huh?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of announcements come out on Wednesday too.
Yeah, I know, but you just can't do it on Monday or Friday.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, what else do we have?
Let's see. One thing that I noticed that I was really bummed out about was that none of the presenters were wearing Google Glass.
Were any of them wearing Smart Glass?
Well, one of the guys did pull out his phone and supposedly was using Smart Glass to control the
Supposedly.
thing. Supposedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, lied.
He touched it, and then the thing on the screen did some stuff, but...
Were any of the reporters wearing Google Glass?
No, they never showed the reporters.
No. Finally, I have one more question, but I forgot what it was, so I'll ask you later.
Alrighty.
Mm-hmm. I'll send you some feedback.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, what is this JPEG? Oh, is this the Xbox 360 with... No, that is the sparkles.
I did have that picture up earlier when you just didn't look at it.
No, I saw it.
Yeah. You see how it's bigger than the Xbox almost.
That's not an Xbox.
The power brick.
Oh, that picture.
No,
yeah,
I
I saw
wasn't
that
talking about
picture.
Twilight Sparkles anymore. Moved on from that, you brony. No. We don't know yet if it's in the side of it yet.
Right. I mean, it looks big enough that it should have the adapter inside it.
Would be nice. Oh, are the controllers wireless?
Yes.
Are
they specifically...
Bluetooth wireless, or are they better than Bluetooth?
They say Wi-Fi.
Oh.
Something Wi-Fi something.
Oh.
Is what the picture says, and it's like, well, that's interesting.
Is your Xbox, is it natively wireless, or do you have to add some crap?
Natively wireless.
Good. What? G, presumably?
I can't tell you.
Okay, probably G.
But
PS3 is also G.
Now, hopefully, this means that the Xbox 360 controller will be usable with computers, with Windows, wirelessly. Because currently, for the Xbox 360 controllers, you have to plug in a USB receiver, or you just have to do it, or you just have to do wired.
Right.
Because
they're hard to find these days.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, good luck with that. Yeah.
Here's hoping.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So, would you rate it better than Sony's announcement or not?
I would say that Sony's announcement was better because they actually had, it was more of a gamer's announcement.
Okay.
For the masses, I'd say that at this point, the Xbox 360 probably looks more compelling.
Okay. So, who's going to win?
Well, PC.
Oh, so neither of the two. Okay.
Yep.
So Microsoft wins then.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, unless Steam gets their way and everybody moves to Linux.
They won't.
Yeah, exactly.
So, they won't.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay then.
Or wait, can I say that Ouya was going to win?
No, you can't. It is a Tegra 3. You can't win. Sorry.
Fine.
The Tegra, the what? The Ouya will win more. Yeah, next gen.
And why are we calling it the
Well, Ouya is just a bunch of sounds. Is another sound I can make.
All right.
Yeah, so we'll talk more about this, of course, at E3. Which is?
On June 10th.
Yes, conveniently also when WWDC is. So there will be literally 5 shows on that one day.
And also supposedly when Google's announcing new Nexuses.
As I mentioned, 5 shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going to be a great week and day.
Also, I think, let's see, June 10th. Yeah, that's totally when my church is doing our...
Cookie bake.
No. Urban Cross, which is a week-long... work camp thing, and I'm the designated media master, so I'll be taking lots of pictures and putting them together.
Media master,
yeah,
I like it.
Putting them together into
scrapbook, photo book, photo album, Google Plus album,
videos, videos. Yes, they'll be on Google Plus. Yes, and stuff. Yeah.
Well, I think that's all we have here today.
Mm-hmm.
Where can we find you on the internet, Matt?
You can find me on my GitHub, MTP777, or you can find me on my Twitter, Matt_Petschl.
What about your gamer tag? You have one of those?
Oh crap! How do I get into Steam?
No, not on Steam. On the Xbox.
On the Xbox?
Yes.
Oh, Troll Controller.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
Troll
like
Controller.
That one. Okay. Where can we
I
find
haven't
you?
had to deal with that since the day I bought it.
I'm Ian Buck. You can find my blog at ianrbuck.blogspot.com. I'm on Google+. I am on Steam as Wolf_Revo. And there was one other thing that I was going to mention.
Blog?
No, I mentioned that one first.
I'm not listening.
There was literally something else that I was going to mention.
Well, they'll have to listen to the Fringe when you
Sure.
find out. And of course, you can find me, Ryan Rampersad, just about everywhere, especially on the Twitter, RyanMR. And of course, you can find me on the PlayStation Network thing called Not Involved, and on the Steam that I've never used in my life called Big Week.
I just remembered.
What was it?
GitHub.
Oh, you. What is your account?
Ian R. Buck.
Oh,
just like everything else.
So simple.
Yep.
Yeah. Very nice. Have a good one.